My teenage daughter hasn't come out of her room since I told her last night that I'm selling the house she grew up in to pay for my own retirement, and my ex-husband just called saying I'm being selfish and cruel when she's already been through enough with the divorce. I'm 49 and I've lived in this house for 17 years. I bought it with my ex-husband when our daughter Sophie was 2. We got divorced 3 years ago, and as part of the settlement I kept the house. He moved into an apartment across town and has Sophie every other weekend. The house has appreciated a lot. I bought it for $280,000 and it's now worth about $600,000, but it's also falling apart. The roof needs replacing, the HVAC system is dying, and the foundation has some issues that will cost tens of thousands to fix. I'm a teacher and I make $58,000 a year. I have about $40,000 in retirement savings, which is nowhere near enough for someone my age. Every financial advisor I've talked to has told me I'm in trouble if I don't start saving aggressively. The house is my biggest asset. If I sell it, I could buy a small condo or townhouse for $300,000 and invest the rest for retirement. It would completely change my financial situation. Sophie is 16. She's lived in this house since she was 2. Her bedroom has all her memories. The backyard has the swing set we built together. The kitchen is where we've had every birthday and holiday. When I brought up the idea of selling, she immediately said no. I explained the financial situation. I showed her my retirement account balance and what experts say I should have at my age. I explained that keeping the house means I'll have almost nothing when I retire and will probably have to work until I'm 75 or older. She said she didn't care about my retirement, she cared about our home. I said I understood, but this was a decision I had to make for my financial future. She said, what about her future? What about having a stable home? I said she'd still have a home, just a different one. She said it wouldn't be the same. I said I knew it wouldn't be the same, but sometimes we have to make hard choices. She asked if her dad knew. I said I'd told him I was considering it. She called him right there in front of me. He told her he thought it was a bad idea and tried to talk me out of it. He said Sophie needs stability, especially after the divorce disrupted her life. I said I needed financial security, especially since the divorce left me as the sole provider for a house I can't afford to maintain. He said he'd help with maintenance costs. I said he'd been saying that for 2 years and hadn't followed through. He said he'd been struggling financially, but he'd try harder. I said this wasn't about maintenance costs. It was about my retirement. He said my retirement was 20 years away, and Sophie's childhood is now. I said I didn't have the luxury of waiting 20 years to start saving. He said I was being dramatic, and plenty of people figure out retirement without selling their family home. Here's what I didn't tell either of them. I'm terrified. I look at my retirement account and I can't sleep at night. I watch my friends who are the same age and they have 3 times what I have saved. My parents are in their 70s and struggling financially, and I see my future in them. The divorce wiped out a lot of my savings. My ex-husband makes more money than me and managed to keep most of his retirement account. I got the house, but the house doesn't help me when I'm 65 and can't afford to stop working. Sophie has been in her room since last night. She won't eat, won't talk to me. She texted her friends and apparently told them we're moving, and they've been messaging me asking if it's true. My ex called this morning and said Sophie is devastated and I need to reconsider. I said I'd already made my decision. He said I was prioritizing money over my daughter's well-being. I said I was prioritizing my future survival. He said Sophie's mental health matters more than my retirement account. I said that's easy for him to say since his retirement account is fine. He said I was being bitter about the divorce settlement. I said I wasn't being bitter. I was being realistic about my financial situation.